Recently, I had the pleasure of riding North America's tallest, fastest, and longest tilt coaster, Siren's Curse, for the first time ever. Believe it or not, it actually has a lot of competition for these titles. Siren's Curse stands at 160 feet tall, reaches the max speed of 58 miles per hour, and has 2 inversions, both being barrel rolls. Anyways, I got 2 laps on it, and it was amazing. It's actually my new favorite coaster of all time, and by far my rarest credit. Me from the future, I can't really decide if I like Siren's Curse or Maverick more. Also, it's worth noting that I haven't been on Steel Vengeance yet. So, yeah. This isn't going to be my usual video, as most of the time my videos are about ride history or a ride analysis. But today, I'm going to be reviewing Cedar Point's new for 2025 tilt coaster, Siren's Curse. First, I want to talk about the theming, which is so good. It's based on Siren, which is an evil mermaid that lures people in with their beauty and beautiful call. The whole ride has very good theming. The trains also look amazing with their lights and paint job. You can't really tell, but when you get up close to the trains, you can tell that they have some sort of mermaid scales painted onto them. The theming is by far the best in the park and is about the best it gets for Six Flags. The coaster also has something which is very rare for Cedar Point rides, which is onboard audio. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first ride ever at Cedar Point to have onboard audio. The speakers are right beside your head. The speakers are right beside your head in the seat, which is awesome. It has a voice actor saying stuff such as, "You have been lured by the siren's call." And right before you drop, it says, "Prepare to meet your doom." Also, a very nice effect is that while you're tilting, it's playing creaking noises to add on to the old, worn-down dock theme. Also, for some reason, it plays rock music throughout the ride. I'm not really sure why they chose rock music out of all the genres, but I'm not complaining, it's pretty sick. Anyways, let's get into the ride experience. I absolutely love this roller coaster for its uniqueness and amazing layout. It's actually my favorite ride of all time, right alongside Maverick. It manages to pack in 13 airtime moments and 2 inversions, both being barrel rolls like I said earlier. It does this in just 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Unlike something like Valraven right next door, after the initial gimmick, which is the huge drop or the tilt, Siren's Curse actually has a pretty good layout after. Let's be honest, Valraven is boring after the first drop. What I'm saying is that even if Siren's Curse didn't have the tilt, it would still be an amazing ride. Now let's talk about the main appeal of the ride, the tilt. Before I rode it for the first time, I was very curious to know what it feels like to just hang there. And let me tell you, it is terrifying and I love it. Your butt is falling out of the seat and your back isn't even touching your seat. You are completely just resting on the restraint and I love it. You hang there in that vertical position for about 5 seconds before you get let go, which is pretty punchy and very fun. Every second that you're tilting feels like 10. After you get let go from the tilt, it's a 90-degree drop into a pullout to the left. The pacing on this roller coaster is also phenomenal, and the layout has no dead spots whatsoever. It runs the layout so smoothly, I can't even wrap my head around it. One of the only 2 things that I don't like about this coaster, however, is how short it is. It only has 2,966 feet of track, and from the second you get released from the tilt track to the brake run is 43 seconds. I get that it's more of a prototype and not really a full version of the tilt coaster, but that's just kind of sad. The second thing I don't like about it is that it's not really that intense. Sure, it gives some good pops of airtime, but the ride experience itself after the tilt isn't that intense. One thing you should know before riding Siren's Curse, though, is that you're required to walk through metal detectors, just like Steel Vengeance and Top Thrill 2. If you do have things you can't take on the ride, that is perfectly fine, because Cedar Point actually provides free lockers, which is very nice of them. It's worth noting that the lockers are very small. They have enough room for things like your phone, wallet, keys, and other small items, But once you start getting into other items like your purse or backpack, it gets kind of iffy. But that's okay too, because right to the left of the gift shop and exit, there are full-size lockers that you can rent out. Overall, Cedar Point has struck gold once again, and their lineup has become even more stacked than it already was. Siren's Curse is a great ride, it's just not as intense as I was hoping for it to be. I'm gonna rate it a solid 9.7. If you enjoyed this video or just watched this far, please consider subscribing as it helps me out a ton. Peace out and ride on.